Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound, and while you're focusing to the sound mentally, you can relax your body, your mind and your breathing. So in case if you can't hear the sound, bell sound, just focus to the silence. So do nothing extra. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in these ongoing meditation sessions, we are basically talk about how to develop a good meditation technique, and at the same time, how you can gain more better result through the practice. So when it comes to this meditation, here we practice tranquility meditation and vipassana meditation. So the tranquility meditation means samatha meditation. It helps us to tranquilize, calm down, and develop the mind to be undisturbed. And that will give the clarity and strength and ability to see things as it is. And then from that point, we go to vipassana level. So in the vipassana level, we practice four foundation: kaya-anupassana, vedana-anupassana, chitta-anupassana, dhamma-anupassana. So for both these meditation techniques, we take the breathing as our primary mental object. So especially the mental object work only for tranquility meditation. But we can use the same method to go into the vipassana level. So when it go to the vipassana level, we not going to follow any kind of techniques or method, because vipassana meditation you cannot do as a technique. But tranquility meditation we can do, because to calm down, relax, settle down our mind, we have to give an object. We have to follow an object. It is a very mundane level of meditation practice. But the vipassana meditation is a different. It's thoroughly, deeply, from each and every angle, without becoming biased to any method, pattern, just with the clear awareness, clear comprehension, clarity, you observe your experience related to body, mind, and with this eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and all the eye object, ear object, nose object, tongue object, body object, mind object, and also form, feeling, perception, volition, recognition, this inner experience, this everything, how it come to be as it is. So for that, you have to have a very clear, undisturbed mind. You have to have well-disciplined mind. You have to have a very clear introspection. That means go into deeper inward and see the very behavior, very nature, very condition of the mind. So tranquility meditation, we just try to settle down with something. But vipassana meditation, there is no settling down place. It's deeply, thoroughly, we observe what is the end result of that moment of experience. And so as example, kaya-anupassana, contemplate the body. So you just imagine, you start to observe your bodily postures, bodily movements, without being part of it, without labeling it as this is me or I am. So when you observe that, what happens? You start to see something. And then just observe the feelings through the sensation, or even through that the feelings that arise through entire body. Good feelings, pleasant feelings, unpleasant feelings, or neutral feelings. So if you keep observe, then you're going to see something. And with the mind, rather than labeling your thoughts as you, if you start to observe, then you can go deeper into it and recognize something. And the phenomena or the dharma, or that regarding the body, mind, that five aggregates, form, feeling, perception, volition, recognition, or even regarding that what you know about the impermanence, unsatisfactory nature, or even what you know about change, now there is a moment you can reflect on it, you can deeply understand it. So when you observe this all what happens, you're capable to see the change. And also each and every moment, selfless. When the pain arises, in that pain, there is no self. That is what you have to understand. When it comes to the body, the bodily movement, in that movements, there is no self. The movements happen as a result of cause and conditions. And when it comes to the mind, that each and any thought itself doesn't have a self. And the Dharma itself doesn't have a self. So first you have to understand it from the object point of view. So whatever the outside things, or the whatever you experience, it doesn't have any self. So then how you experience it? How it come to be a part of you? It's because of the cause and effect, causality. So the cause and effect is the bridge that you can build to understand without bringing this idea of self. See the difference. Now, we understand things in day-to-day life with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, and with our form, feeling, perception, volition, recognition, with this outside world, with the eye object, ear object, nose object, tongue object, body object, mind objects, we are developing the bridge with the idea of I am or the self. But now you build up the bridge with the cause and effect. So when you do that, what happens? You start to recognize if you experience something, it experience because of another thing. There is a reason. So then this you start to recognize this connection. This connection, this interconnection, this connectivity, they build up, bring this moment. So once you're capable to see it, then your mind little bit become clear not to take it as personal. That is one of the first shift that happen in you. Then you are not anymore taking things as personal. So that is object point of view. Then how about the subject point of view, the experiencer? So then the experiencer, do you think that experience also have a self? Of course, there is a self. That's why I can appear like this, I can do like this. But the thing is, it is not permanent. It's changing. That self also depend on cause and effect. Now you can see that rather than this inner self, that I am the subject point of self, not depending on unchangeable names or forms, that also depend on cause and effect. See that outside, that also depend on cause and effect. In the inside, that also depend cause and effect. That is one point that you can come to understand how things come to be as they are. So getting to this level, it's a step by step, you have to practice this. So then when you practice, there are certain principles you have to follow. There is a protocol that you have to follow. So practicing means you know about it, you start to understand it, you become more clear, and then you start to apply it. So that application build up the journey. So then the very basic principle, the very first thing that you have to do, even for the tranquility meditation and the vipassana meditation, you have to, when you observe, one of the thing is you have to observe closely. Remember that. Not from far away. And you have to observe closely without becoming part of that mental object. So that observing closely doesn't mean you bring the eye close to it. No. you have to calm down and relax your eye. And inside the eye, the energy, you have to allow it to settle down. Don't try to kind of like a look into something. So here, observe closely means you aware about it thoroughly. You become disciplined, focused to one thing, and let go that all other things. And letting go that all other thing doesn't mean you take it as a hint that you're not going to resist about it. No, only thing is you are more focusing to one thing, as example, breathing, rather than other things. So if that other things arise, if the disturb happen, no need to think about it, no need to go behind it. What you need to do, you have to focus to your breathing. I give a simple example. Just imagine you are sitting and practicing meditation. So then, no one at home, just you open the window. So then, it start to make noise for the wind. So maybe you cannot even close it also because of the hot weather. You have to keep it open. Or maybe you need some light. You cannot just close it. And then you time to time go and try to fix it a certain way. And you try in many ways to stop that sound. So then just imagine you sit for meditation now. One time you went there and it lit for a few minutes, it's okay. Then again, when it start to make noise, then you go again and fix it and then come back and sit again, practice, and then again you do that. So within maybe 10 minutes, 5-6 times you go and fix it and come. So then your meditation become a kind of like a war zone, struggle. So what you need to do when you sit for meditation, if you focus to the breathing, let that sound happen. And maybe first time you start, your mind disappointed and bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. So rather than you are trying to maintain the outside and rather than you are trying to find the very comfortable right moment to practice, you allow that things to unfold the way it is, but you become more focused to your breathing. So that is what you have to practice. So then you can apply that disturbances for anything. So whatever it is there, again and again, you develop the ability to come back and stay with the breathing rather than go behind something. So just imagine there is a farmer. He has a paddy field. And then this wild animal come and start to destroy it. What he can do? He can send them away, but not to go behind that wild animals. If he start to go behind wild animal, what will happen? He going to lose the field, and then another animals can come and eat it. So then as a good farmer, he need to stay around the paddy field. Maybe the wild animal come, then when it come, send them away, but without going behind them. So like that, always remember, when you focus to breathing, so whatever the thoughts come, don't go behind that thoughts. Don't try to justify that thoughts, argue with that thoughts, resist that thoughts. Don't try to do anything for that thoughts. What you need to do, again and again, you try to be with the breathing, primary mental object. You focus to the breathing. So when it comes to that, there are certain principles that you have to follow. The one of the major important thing is not to be hurried. Just imagine, like old days, we had radio. So we try to tune the channel. And at that time, no even FM. So you have to slowly tune it. You cannot do it fast, then you miss the channel. So here the same, your mind, you cannot be hurried. You have to tune, you have to fine tuning your mind to the primary mental object slowly, without becoming hurried. Otherwise, you miss the channel. So remember that, learn it properly. Absorb the idea first. That's why we need teaching. So absorb the idea to yourself. See, when you tuning a radio, you do it slowly and try to get the channel frequency. So same like again and again you do it to settle down with the breathing. So when you do that, there is something happens. What happens? Just imagine, you first time you try to tune the radio. You're trying to look for a certain channel. And you go from, back and forth everywhere and passing all the channels. And then somehow you get it. So whatever megahertz 9.5 or kind of like something, And then now you know where the channel. When the next time when you tune, you don't need to spend so much time like that the first time you did. Because now you know where it is, and then you can directly come to that point and then slowly. So like that, what happens, once you are not go with behind this outside things, once you are capable to settle down with the breathing, and again, any time when you start to practice right away, you can focus to breathing. You can tune to that channel. And once you come to that point, now you know where the channel, and then you slowly tuning it and you get the channel. So, and then other thing is, so that is the important part then. Slow down. So first don't go behind, don't try to fix outside things. Stay, develop the ability to come back and be with the primary mental object. And the next one, slowly, you tune it. And the third point is just tuning itself to the breathing, not going to enough. So your awareness, always remember, that it is struggle with the five hindrance. So that's why in the very first level we develop the tranquility mind. Get out of the five hindrance. Kama chanda vyapada tina midda uddacha kukkucha vichikicha. Sensual desires, ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness, doubt. So those qualities always in us. So now it start to agitate you. It want you to move here and there. It try to take you to interfere with things. So even with the primary mental object, the very nature of this inside inbuilt five hindrance, it try to interfere with the primary mental object rather than observing it. Because when we interfere with things, we feel good about us. But now you reverse it. You're not going to go with it. So rather than interfering, you again and again stay observing it. Your primary mental object, that's mean the breathing. And there is something happens, remember. In the conventional world, we are depending on we are nourishing from five hindrances. Sensual desires always energize us. It motivates us to do things, go behind things, make plans. And the ill will or the anger, it motivates us. It is kind of like a food for us to live. Anger, even it has ability to take us towards the samsara many lifetimes. Sometimes we born because of the anger. Just imagine if we want to get a revenge, we curse somebody. Oh, I'm going to get the revenge one day. And that maybe if it is a strong determination, that determination, with that determination, if we die, maybe we're going to born again with that determination. Then that's mean what? That's mean that anger brought us here. And sloth and torpor, laziness, lethargic, it motivates us. And doubt, the doubt about kind of like our own things. And the comparison, it motivates us. Restlessness, it motivates us in day-to-day life to be like this. So those are the things that we used to live with. Maintaining these five hindrances is our life. That's what used to be. But now, with this sitting, you are anymore not encouraged, you are anymore not go behind these five hindrances. So then there is some beautiful thing happens. What is that beauty? Because you start to get agitated. You feel kind of like, why I have to do this? So kind of like this inner call, inner voice come. Go, do this. Oh, you have to do that. Kind of like, somehow it try to take you out of the practice. That's the first thing it does. Five hindrance, somehow it try to take you out of the practice. If try to do that, And if that, so that's why once you come to the practice, once you focus and settle down with the breathing, then there is something you have to develop. Otherwise, five hindrance going to overtake. So what you need to develop? You have to develop the energy. That's a very key point. Mental energy, physical energy. That is antidote for the five hindrance. Of course, there are five things. Antidote for these five hindrance. Those five things are five spiritual factors. Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. So the Saddha means the faith, conviction, confidence. You want to do this. And the energy. And the awareness. Concentration. And the wisdom. So these all five things you need. But basically from the beginning, remember to develop the energy from the beginning. So once you have enough energy, what happens? That five hindrance little bit going to settle down. That is one thing. And then it settle down and it try to come from the front door and try to take you out of the seat. But now you have the energy, it cannot do, then it's going to come from the back door. That is the very tricky part of this five hindrance. So what is that? That with the inside. So kind of like, just imagine, you start to feel so good with the sitting. Now you can sit like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, no problem. You just sit without moving. You go for 30 minutes, 1 hour, kind of like that. Now your sitting is good. And anymore, that five hindrance cannot take you out of the seat. And then other thing is, now your awareness also a little bit good. That means you are focusing to the breathing. And then what happens? And then you start to look for light. You start to mesmerize with the kind of like dreams, colors, pictures, and you get lost in the kind of like a dream world, fantasy. So then you every day you get stuck with that. And then every day you like to sit for 30 minutes. And then it's kind of like you get addicted to visualize certain things and you live with it. See that the power of this five hindrance. That come that way also. And even to think something, you go and start to sit for meditation. So then that is why you have to have some kind of wisdom. That is why teaching helps us. You have to have, so in the beginning you have the energy to settle down with the practice, but now your tranquility state is good, and you have to have the wisdom to apply in the moment. So then just remember now, when in the beginning to apply the the energy, when the body try to move away and start to do things, and you recognize it and you apply the energy to stay focused, bring the mind to and be with the primary mental object. So then you had the sati, that means awareness. And then when the five hindrance come from the back door, so that means deeply it is stuck with the visualization, dreaming, light, and some kind of fantasy in your mind. Now you apply the wisdom. And to apply the wisdom, now you bring the sati also. Because sati is the one who show us and giving us this is the right time. And do this. And then we bring the wisdom. So like that, you have to balance this all. And if you can balance this while you're practicing again and again, so day by day, even it's a 1 second you come to tranquility state, by the time you are capable to increase the duration to stay tranquilized the mind. And while you're tranquilizing the mind, during that time, what happened? Your five hindrances start to drop. Once the five hindrances start to drop, what happens? Your five aggregates going to become more visible to you. Form, feeling, perception, volition, recognition. And then you are capable to understand and see how this everything arises in your mind and how the mind behaves. And then you are capable to see deeply how this everything arising, existing, and disappearing itself. And inside that anything, there is no any kind of self. That all depend on cause and effect. And once you see that, there is another beautiful shift going to happen. See, this is why this journey is so beautiful. Practicing is not boring if you really know the Dharma or the method. So that's why all the sutras means that these teachings, the community of Sangha or the Buddha's teaching, we try to share the teaching, because once you know, it make you wise to understand, and then once you start to put it to practice, this is going to become one of the most beautiful journey that you can go. So then another shift going to happen in you. What is that shift? So remember, this eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, depending on outside objects. For eyes, colors, pictures; ears, sound; nose, smell; tongue, taste; body, sensations; for mind, ideas. So what happens when some kind of picture contacts with our eye? So then that contact create eye consciousness, and out of that eye consciousness, we're going to take it as it ignite the feelings, it bring the feelings, it give birth to the feelings, and then remember the mechanisms. Ear the same. When the sound touch the contact the ear consciousness arise, and once the ear consciousness arise, the feelings going to arise. Contacts bring the feelings. Nose, the outside, the aroma outside, and it start to contact the nose, and out of that nose consciousness arise, and then out of that contact the feelings arise. Tongue the same. So tongue object outside, but once we start to put it to the mouth, and once it contact happen, tongue consciousness arise. So then out of that contacts feelings arise. So the body, then another body or the sensation, contact happen, and out of that contact, body consciousness ignite. And then out of that contact, feelings arise. So the mind the same. For the mind, ideas, contact happens, and the mind consciousness arise. So out of that contacts, the feelings arise. Those are the only 6 things happen to us. That is life. Nothing else. There is no 7th one. So now we are come to the feelings points. Now we have feelings. So what happens now, because now your mind more sharp and clear, when the feelings arise out of this any 6 senses, the mind capable to locate it. Not only that, now you are capable to, rather than, remember, the before, what we do, we build the bridge using the idea of self. So the feelings, to recognize the feelings, we use the idea of self, I am. So that's why people interpret this, people explain this idea as self, or the feelings as self. So that's why they say, don't hurt my feelings. So that's mean, don't hurt them. So the feelings is I am. That these feelings with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, it is me. That's the self. But now you use the cause and effect. That is the bridge. So whatever the object related to eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, and it contact happen, because of that contact, the feelings arise. If the contact didn't happen, the feelings not going to arise. So when it comes to that feelings, there are 3 kind of feelings. Pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, and neutral feelings. So in the conventional level, the pleasant feelings ignite the desire, or the greed, or the lust. Unpleasant feelings ignite the anger, ill will, hatred. And then there is a neutral feelings. So the neutral feelings ignite the ignorance. Because we look into most of time pleasant, unpleasant, and the neutral we neglect most of time. As a result of that neglecting, what happens? Because we think there is nothing. We hold into the pleasant or unpleasant. And then by the time that neutral can become pleasant or unpleasant. So there is a misunderstanding with this neutral. So that's why by the time it can come to pleasant or unpleasant. So what is that misunderstanding? You think when we come to the pleasant feeling or unpleasant feeling, we think this both we mesmerize. So the here neutral feelings means you have to remember that what you experience as pleasant, not there. If you mean as a good feelings, that goodness, when that goodness is not there, then it become neutral feelings. If that whatever the unpleasant feelings that you experience, if that unpleasantness not in another feelings, maybe you neglect it as a neutral feelings. But how it become neutral? Because that unpleasantness not there. Because we are hold it to this. What happens once the mind capable to navigate these feelings, pleasant feeling, unpleasant feelings? First go with this both, and the solution come for the next. So when the pleasant feelings come, you don't take it as a pleasant feelings. Unpleasant feelings come, you don't take as a unpleasant feelings. Mostly these pleasant and unpleasant or good or bad feelings come from where it come? It come as a result of mental formations, cankers, or the sanskara, or the memory. And that memory has a deep rooted history. Like many long time ago, like even beyond your birth, many lifetime ago, that some kind of feelings that you had, but now, today, suddenly, it can come. It was not there, it can come suddenly. Just imagine if there is the baby born to this world and that baby never experienced certain kind of situation, but suddenly the contact happened with eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. Maybe that baby now 30 years old baby, sometimes this, this old people, young people, also people call baby. So 30 years old baby. And then just imagine, suddenly something come to their eyes, picture. They never saw it. And then they feel kind of like it's very pleasant. And maybe that previous birth time, they associated that picture. And then maybe the anger, the same. Suddenly you start to hate something, no reason. Maybe it can come from your past experience. So like that, this pleasant, unpleasant, neutral arise as a result of not the present moment of experience. This pleasant, unpleasant, neutral, these divisions happens, this category happens, we categorize this like this way because of the past experience. Now you start to recognize it. Because when something pleasant happens, it itself not pleasant, or it itself not unpleasant. And now you recognize this without memory, without interference of your past experience. If you see anything, it's not pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. There is nothing called neutral there then. Because In the conventional level, what we take as the neutral, that pleasant, whatever you recognize as pleasant or good, when that goodness is not there, we say it is neutral. If you recognize something bad, that bad quality, when it is not there, we recognize as neutral. No. But now what happened? When something come to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, when the contact happen, when the consciousness arise and the contacts happen, the feelings arise, that feelings you are not going to take as pleasant or unpleasant. Once you don't take that feelings as pleasant or unpleasant, there is another state you're going to experience. That state we call equanimity. Equanimity. It's kind of like you are in the middle, you are not a part of it. That is how it is. You experience it, but you are not a part of it. You are not going to build up bridges, connections. You are not anchoring to it, holding or grasping, clinging to it. You are not labeling it, but you experience it. So that moment, if you come to that moment, that equanimity, 1 second, if you come to that level, then as from the beginning, remember that your mind, you start to develop and come to tranquility state again and again, again and again, come back. Baba. Remember I gave the analogy and how to tune, fine tuning the radio to the channel. When you do it first time, you go here and there to find where this channel. But now you know where it is. And the next day, something happened. You know, if anything trigger your pleasant, unpleasant, you're not going to get stuck with it. Why? Because now you have higher experience. You know, be in the moment with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, with eye object, ear object, nose object, tongue object, body object, mind object. With these 6 faculties, with these 6 objects, when these both come together, then you recognize it's a result of cause and effect. And the consciousness arises as a result of cause and effect. And then the feelings arise out of that contacts, not because of you like it or not. That likeness and the dislikeness come from your past experience. And then you untangle this happening. You untangle this mental web, create the idea of samsara. But now, in that very moment, with these faculties, with this object, when the moment of experience happens, it's a just experience. That is where you experience the bliss. So, again and again, listen this few times. I know sometimes it's going to become a little bit agitate you. So that remember, that's a result of 5 aggregates, the 5 hindrance. Remember that. That 5 hindrance, that is the 5 hindrance does. So it can come from the front door. If it cannot move you, it will come from the back door. So remember that both. So give a little bit try yourself. Listen, few times try to go back and forth, because once I do this, we record this and then we're going to upload it to YouTube and it's going to be there. So whenever you have time, You listen this, get a clear understanding. What is, because that is wisdom. You need that to apply. Otherwise, you don't know what to do. And once you know this, your practice going to become more clear, and you are not going to be afraid for that, to practice yourself. That confidence, once you have it, anywhere you go at any time regarding your inner practice, you become your own master. Just please try to do and get into that level yourself. So in this Buddha's teaching, you are not a follower, you are not a student. So you don't need the initiations. Only thing you need, practice. But to practice, first you have to have some understanding. You have to have some tools to work. And then little by little, you can develop it. So by the time, through this practice, it will take you to the bliss. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left, neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say so patveva, oh may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. So as I mentioned from the beginning, just try to be with the breathing. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one, out of anger or ill will, wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dharma and the Sangha. Also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chamyehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddhang pujemi dhammang pujemi sanghang pujemi Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jaravya maranam ha paribunjissami Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you.